the professionals do the work. If it's your first time tuning in, thank you so much. We do appreciate it. Whether you're following us through mycitymymusic.com, Dre Montez, or you're following us through StreamYard, we do appreciate it for sure. Good folk, good people. And I think we're trying to get to the moment. Oh, this thing is giving me so many problems today. Let's tell you what. We're just going to take that off. There you go. How you doing, good folks, good people? Again, it is What Up Wednesday edition of the show. This weather is fitting just fine with us. I'm liking it so far. We did not get too carried away over the weekend at all. But the anticipation of great weather coming just gets us in a certain type of mode. If you're celebrating a birthday today, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Boys Club of St. Louis alumni, my dude JB, with that big 5-0 in the building. If you're celebrating an anniversary, happy anniversary to you. In relationship, your credit, your job, your vehicle, whatever you're celebrating, we're proud of you. We knew you could do it. And if you have the day off in anticipation of this weekend, is today your last day? This it, or was it yesterday until Monday? Either way, enjoy your time off. So high fives in the building. Chest bump that thing. Let's hug it on out. Gotta get that hug in there. Get that hug in there. A good old cup of Joe, meaning coffee. Get your coffee going. Everybody got their coffee. You got your bowl packed. You got your drink in front of you, and you're ready to attack the day. And most importantly, folks, when we're going throughout the day, please do not forget the details of the day. Whatever you have to do to keep remembering those details of the day, whether it comes in a bulletproof form, or you taking video memos, something to create the details and don't forget the details of the day. I think that's something very, very important that we must instill in ourselves. But let's get on with our pillars of the day. We're going to let it go. Stay calm. It's on you. Give it time. Ignore them. Don't compete. And laugh. You have to laugh at yourself. Nobody else but laughing at yourself does wonders for the soul and the mind. Special shout out to this amazing group in Soulard, Urban City Services. They've done a tremendous job with helping out during these difficult times of the weather and helping out the unhoused. Shout out to Andre Cole and Mike Avery for sure at Urban City Services. Some people really taking heed to this, helping each other, helping the unhoused out, helping the less fortunate out, helping the elderly and disabled out, helping out thy neighbor. Folks have really, really taken that and gone with it. Well, this is the pivotal point of the year, the second half of sports, with the second half of hockey season. Will Ovechkin break Gretzky's record? With the second half of the NBA, were those harsh words from former NHL player PK Subban, was that harsh or was that reality? That's something that the NBA needed to hear. Anticipation time of the start of Major League Baseball season. Do we need pitching? Do we need a star player? Are we in the rebuilding mode here as St. Louis Cardinal fans? Let us know. Interesting minds want to know. In the entertainment world, what's going to happen at this weekend's Oscar ceremonies? And in the thought process of things, we can get deep for a second before we go down the path of the world of sports. We were supposed to have a guest today. We're going to try to reschedule that next week. We're supposed to have former NFL player on and also a softball player on for our softball series show with Dre Montez. We're going to reschedule both of those for next week. But I guarantee you, folks, I have something coming for your kids ages 7 on up to 18 years old. We got them covered. Get the right people on here to tell you about it in the city of St. Louis, South City, South County, in West County, in North County. Got you all covered on something to do with your child this upcoming summer, because you need a plan. You need a plan other than just relying on the baby daddy, the baby mama, the favorite aunt, the favorite cousin, grandma, grandpa. Let's come up with an effective plan to help our kids grow, not just on the inside, but on the outside as well. Before we get into it, something has come to mind. The more and more I watch these thrillers and dramas or political satire movies, they all have the same thing in common: distractions. Are you paying attention when you leave the house? Not to the point of that old moniker people are losing. If it doesn't affect me, I'm not paying it no mind. I'm going to stay in my lane and mind my business. Is that the right approach to do with things as we know where the state of the world is at? We know where we're at here in this city of St. Louis. We know everything that's going on. But are we really, truly paying attention to the distractions that are around us? I think we've all been distracted in life. But as you get older, I think you're a little bit more wise and optimistic on the distractions that could potentially affect your progress, affect where you're at right now, the state of mind, everything. I can't remember which movie I was watching, but it was one of those crime, drug, and law movies, one of those. And a very high up individual in the drug game was out to eat at his favorite restaurant he had been going to for more than 30 years. And this woman comes up to him, well, sit in his direction, starts up a conversation with him. And they're going back and forth and engaging in conversation. And, you know, they move closer to each other and they're spending hours together. No hanky-panky, just talking. There was an exchange of information to contact each other again in case they want to do that again. But as the character in the movie pointed out in the voiceover, distractions come around us all the time. It's up to you to observe the distractions that are coming. Now, the premise of this movie and the distraction they were giving him with that young lady, and he spotted it out, I've been coming to this place so long and so often, I've never seen this woman before. And we have a conversation like we've known each other our whole lives. Someone was trying to distract him off of something by planning that. I'm using that as an example. But we all go through distractions. It's up to us to figure out, why is this distraction happening? Why is it going on? We can't get so lost or keep the eyes on the prize that we forget about the mundane, the simplicity of distractions, the intent behind it. Some are meant to harm you very, 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 very badly. And some are just to really just get you off that beaten path that you want. And somebody else is trying to get your shine and get into the moment. And that's not fair. And we see it all the time, especially the way that Hollywood shows it to us. Excuse me. All right, there we go. We back at it. There you go. But I just feel distractions are key in everything. Every day of life, when your routine to get ready for work, your routine on the way to work, how you do your work day activities. Some people have a routine. Some people are very spontaneous about their work day. As a person that was in the radio field for 15 years, no day is exactly the same. If you deal in live streaming podcasts or electronics or the computer world, technology world, no day is the same. You may think it is, but something is going to remind you every day there's going to be some type of distraction. Is it intentional? Is this part of the job? I think it comes with the process of getting older as we get that famous word that starts with an M, maturity. I think it arises there. So with that little opening monologue right there about distractions, just be aware of the distractions around you. Understand the situation around you. You're not being nosy. You're being observant. There's nothing wrong with being observant. You're not eavesdropping. You just know something's not right over here. When you leave your house every day, do you do a check on the street of the cars that's on your street versus when you leave, when you come home from work, And in the middle of the night, when you take that peep out the window, because you heard a noise, are the same cars there? Or you one of those type people? Not paranoid, but observant to the cause in the situation that's going on. It is What Up Wednesday, and this is CertaPro Painters presents Montez at Midday. I'm your host, Dre Montez. We come to you Monday, Wednesday, and Friday here from Overtime Studio here in South City from 12 p.m. Central Standard Time to 1 p.m. as well. And again, my apologies for the two guests we were supposed to have today. Hopefully get to reschedule that. And also word of the cause, we are moving forward with a cooking segment here on the show. Very soon, got to lock that down in the next few weeks. So we got some good things coming here on Montez at Midday, as well as Who's to Blame, the podcast, and a softball series with Dre Montez. It seems every time a sports start or a sports end, we're getting a notification about an adjustment in the streaming service. Either we're losing something or we're gaining something. And now Major League Baseball is deciding to leave ESPN after this year. I don't know what that means for baseball, but ESPN paid $550 million for this. $550 million they paid to cover baseball on ESPN. They paid $2.6 billion for 1/3 of the NBA coverage. Make it make sense. Make it. They say all these sports are on numbers, all these streaming services on numbers. Everything we do, numbers are involved. Some type of way, numbers are involved. If you don't believe me, ask for a raise today. I'm quite sure your boss is going to go to your numbers. What have you been doing to ask for this raise? The NBA is not a $2.6 billion product anymore. They're not that anymore. I don't know if they just had a lack off the past 2 seasons, but the NBA, and I'm not trying to compare it to the Jordan years, the Magic years. I'm talking moving the sport in the game forward. They have that. I don't need to be a superstar. I understand my value. I understand what I'm bringing to the game. Let me get the bag and go home and post things on social media. Okay. If that's where we're at, cool. But for ESPN to drop Major League Baseball after this year and focusing more on the NBA, and they paid $2.6 billion for 1/3 of the NBA. Make it make sense to me. Somebody make it make sense. I'm not getting. I am not getting it. We can carry the 1. You can move the 2 over. You can divide it by what the square root of this. It still is showing that the numbers are down. They told us last year the numbers were down, way below that, like the Mendoza line in baseball. Can this thing be savaged for the second half of the season? You had the Suns and the Memphis Grizzlies combined for 299 points in the NBA basketball game. Is that what today's NBA fans want to see? 299 points combined in a regular season NBA game. Is that where we're at? We cool with that? That's video game numbers. That's up there with video game numbers. It really is. And I'm not trying to compare players in the NBA to anyone in the 90s. I can't do that. That's not fair to today's player. It's not fair at all to keep comparing them to things that happened in the 90s with nothing in the 90s when it came to the NBA is the same as it is today. The concept of the game is there. But they have these little, how can I put this? Little ad libs to the game. You can't hand check no more. Flopping is big. Load management. TV games, big marquee games. You get privileged if you've done something in the NBA that they deem is impotent. You may get a call here or there. Is that fair? Especially to the fans of the 70s, 80s, and 90s of basketball. They don't tend to like today's basketball coverage For one, the way the game is covered. The pregame. They talk so bad about the product that they're getting paid to cover, and they used to play in the NBA. Make it make sense. I think criticism is a part of everything. It builds character. When you first got involved in sports, did you play? Did you win? Did you get the understanding of appreciating the winning aspect of the game because you came in on the ground of a sport and you built something with your team and your coaches? I think those type of players and athletes get more from the game and a little bit more understanding. But some people get drafted, get traded, get picked up, become part of a team, an association where they're not even playing as much, but the team wins. That kind of changes the mentality. You don't get no true essence of building a winning pedigree, being a part of a winning championship, understanding the building blocks of getting here. Cry losing, cry trying, finally getting over that hump. Those are three different emotional states in the world of sports. But we're dealing with the breed in the NBA that does not understand that at all. Is it our fault for putting them on this pedestal at such a young age? You had Kyrie Irving, who didn't play 1 year in college. Look what all the hype he brought to the NBA. Was that warranted? Hadn't done anything yet. Because the fans of today are clickbait fans. They've been following guys on YouTube, social media, everywhere. They have an idea. They have an illusion. They have the expectations of people that they're following that are not the quote-unquote marquee household name from the collegiate standpoint. But I've been following this kid since AAU days. Look at Cooper Flagg in college. Considering what's going on with the NBA, the play that's doing regular season game, the injuries, the traveling, the load management, the privileged lifestyle, the expectations from the fans to the players. I think we may need an emergency forum to get a clear understanding of what's going on. If I state your name, Dre Montez, was a Philadelphia Sixers, 76ers fan, I would demand some justice. What the Philadelphia 76er fan has been through since the days of Allen Iverson is just wrong. Wrong. We all know somebody from a young age, they couldn't walk that good. They always falling. We call them clumsy. There's a lot of professional athletes that fit that. And the name that comes to mind is Joel Embiid. They say he's 30. That is the oldest looking 30-year-old I've ever seen in my entire life. He is so big, it looks like it hurts him to walk. We heard that phrase, it's a process. We went through all the injuries. They showed you the numbers. This man's missed over 400 games in his NBA career. But look at the money he's making, has made. Does it make sense? We're giving money to products and players that haven't fit the bill of the job. I think I said this 3 months ago. I will give you free housing, medical, transportation, free food. I'm doing all of that. I'm not paying you a dime while you're playing. Now, if you have a family, okay. You can stay on the property. We'll feed your family. We'll give you your money when you get done playing ball. How about that? We give you money when you get done playing ball. We all know people that work harder when you put the MONEY in their hand. We all know people like that. And then some people we know they're going to do the work because they know on Friday or Thursday or even Monday in some cases, they're getting paid. Long as it's consistent. But with this money in the NBA, from a fan perspective, to the product that we're seeing on TV or in person, it's not matching up. It's not matching up at all. I'm not saying they need to shorten the season, get rid of the All-Star game. Let us hear from the players. Not just the big name players. The players that are going to be really carrying this league in about 4 years when everybody right now you talking about, they're done. They're done with the game. Were we prepared when the 90s marquee players left the game? Obviously not if we're still having comparison 2025 to a 90s player, early 2000 player. Is it fair? I don't think it is. I want today's player to live in their moment, understand the moment, and be there. I'm up there with Jason Tatum. If you take away my face and my name and just put my numbers up there, would you give me more credit then? So I'm worried about three things here. Well, three players: Joel Embiid, Paul George, and Bradley the Real Beal. I'm worried about those three players. The money that those three players have gotten. The money that they've gotten. Why? Why? For what? I need to go to an arbitration meeting with these people when they're trying to negotiate a better deal for themselves. How do we get the bag this high in the NBA? I don't see it. I don't. Make your money, get your money, but please make it make sense with the attributes, the gameplay itself. And I need some postseason numbers. I need some postseason numbers in NBA for sure. That's how I'm feeling about the NBA at this moment. They're trying to find a face for the NBA. I think the sport itself should be the face. Push it as the league, not an individual, a league. Let's do it that way. We've moved away from trying to put one individual to carry the NBA. We've moved on. Let's do a team version. Anthony Edwards of the Minnesota Timberwolves. I don't know if you've seen the video and him and former President Barack Obama, but there's no way he learned how to talk to grown people at a young age. No way. No way possible. No. Hell, I'm 54 and I wouldn't talk to a grown person that way. But speaking of Anthony Edwards, they played OKC on Tuesday night. OKC had a 22-point lead with 12 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Anthony Edwards was not having the best game that night. They sat him. Minnesota goes on a 16-0 run. They end up winning the game. Anthony Edwards had a key block on Shane Gilders. And the MVP of the regular season right now plays for OKC. But it's games like that where, how did that happen? What was the timeout coach? See, everybody can't do what Phil Jackson did. Phil Jackson wouldn't call a timeout when a team go on an 8-0 run, 10-0 run, 16-0 run. No. Phil Jackson believed in this. I'm giving you the tools and the game plan to readjust when that happened. It's up to you, you five individuals on the court, to figure this out. And they did, and they would. Teams today, the communication is just, one of the NBA analysts said, look how the star player in the game walks by their coach. They give them no eye contact. There's no communication. On free throws, they go all the way down there to the court and put their hand on their knees. Why does a star player do that, Kevin Durant? Not saying you're supposed to love thy coach, believe in the coach, but you're part of the team. What happened to the respect factors? It's gone and it's lost at some points out there. Well, we got it out the way. We finally got it out of the way. We got that Laker and Dallas Maverick game out of the way. Got it out the way. Luka did what he had to do, but I'm still concerned about the fans' rights and responsibilities at a game. You mean to tell me in Dallas, at a Dallas Mavericks home game, if you wear Luka's jersey, you exit out of the arena. You can't stay here and watch the game. Really? We need to do that here during baseball season. If you wear a jersey of a team that's not playing here, and you at the game, come on, let's go. Let's go. If the Cardinals and Braves are playing and you wearing a Pirates jersey or a Toronto Blue Jays jersey, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get it. If you're wearing a football jersey at a baseball game, sir, I need you to come with me. Come on. That drives me nuts more than seeing women on their phone with the good seats behind home plate. They like this. They just in their phone. Just in their phone to be in their phone. What are you talking about with those great seats? What is going on? What is so important? You have to be in your phone and miss this game. Now, if you're knitting, that's on you. You do what you got to do. You're probably there for your husband. But when you at the game, you and Sheila and Michelle and Latasha at the game, girls, they at the Cardinals game, and all y'all on the phone, and the camera's right there on you. Oh, I'm perturbed. I'm perturbed at that moment. But really, Dallas Mavericks, you're having fans leave if they wear a Luka jersey. I'm not saying I was a big fan of that part of Texas, but I like Texas. Good barbecue, beautiful women. That's all you need. That's all you need to get you going some days and sometimes. You really do. It's all you need to get you going and get that old engine going. I said I feel sorry and bad for the 76ers fans. I feel that way for the Hornets. 95 points combined that they lost in 2 games? What is 299 points scored combined by teams? A team losing 2 games by a combined of 95 points. How is that possible in 2025? How? How is that possible? Some things I would never understand at all. You got teams shooting combined 85 3-point field goals a game. It's like NBA Jam, the video game out there. But this is where we're at. It's okay. It's quite all right. If this is where we're going to stay, but we got to stay here. We can't go back and forth with it. No. We cannot go back and forth with it at all. We have to make it make sense, especially to today's pain fan. Well, everybody got to give her roses, flowers, standing ovation, whatever you deserve. But Diana Taurasi, WNBA player, is hanging up the shoes after 20 years. You go, girl. I'm not going to come out here and tell you that I'm a number one Diana Taurasi fan. I love women's college basketball, and I love the WNBA, especially the past 10 years of the WNBA. Love it. Fabulous. On the collegiate standpoint, what Diana Taurasi did in college at UConn, talking about a super team. Go look back at some of those UConn teams. When the FISA came here to play, when UConn played SLU, I went to that game. Look here. UConn women, the size of that team a couple of years ago was mind-boggling to me. That close up person to see UConn's women basketball team play, outstanding. Winning championships in college, unheard of. Going to the Olympics. What she did in the WNBA. She owns all the scoring records in the WNBA. 20 years. This woman has competed at a very high level of basketball. Thank you very much to Diana Taurasi and her supporting cast of fans out there all across the board. "20 years go by fast when you do something that you love and you're passionate about. No comparison to what she did in 20 years of playing professional, but 25 years of playing softball? Hello. I still get emotional from time to time. If you're just tuning in, thank you so much. Hello, my city, mymusic.com, Dre Montez, as well as hello to the good folk on StreamYard. How we doing today? And a birthday shout out to the counselor, big fan of the show. Happy birthday to you, my man. The counselor is getting it in for sure. Does anyone out there know how to stop these spam calls? I could have sworn they passed something, the no spam call, the no call list. I've blocked, I've shared it, I've blocked, I've deleted, I've blocked, I've deleted, I've blocked, I've deleted, but they keep calling. What is going? How did we get here? I did not qualify for a car loan. They got one more time to tell me, get on down here to blah, 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 blah dealership and pick up your car today. I'm going to go down there. No, you said I was getting the car. No, you called me. And then they know your real name. I haven't given anyone my real name in decades. How do they know my real name? Now, see, that's suspicious right there. See. I had the pleasure of going through the magnet school system here as a young lad here in St. Louis. And before I jumped off into the magnet school world, I went to Clinton Middle School down in the projects and as well as Washington Middle. But after that, I'd taken my talent to Pruitt Military Academy. Shout out to Pruitt Military Academy. And we just recently lost a former teacher from Pruitt Military Academy, who was our basketball coach. His name was Mr. Bowie. So shout out to Mr. Bowie, rest in heaven. Friends and family, deepest condolences and prayers at this difficult time. But Mr. Bowie was a relatable teacher. Relatable. Everyone had a teacher that they could relate to, that could understand where you're coming from, what you mean by your intentions, and where you're trying to go. He was one of those type of teachers where he got along with everybody. He could relate with a situation you're going through. He could spot that, hey, let me talk to you for a second. What's going on? What's going on? All those different backgrounds at a brand new school concept at Pruitt Military Academy back in the day. I'm proud to be a product of that institution. And they put out some great quality people. I've recently been out in the Facebook group, so that's how I heard about it. But again, former teacher at Pruitt Military Academy, Mr. Bowie, passed away. Thoughts and prayers and condolences to his friends and family. Speaking of school on this way back Wednesday edition, remember the early days of courting, and you couldn't wait till the phone rang when you got your first phone number, and you would pick up the phone to make sure it still worked because the phone hasn't rang. I mean, you would, and we had times we could be on the phone. Well, I did. You couldn't be on the phone all night, holding the card, your foot on the wall. What you doing, man? What you gonna wear to school tomorrow? No. Couldn't be on the phone late at night, which back then was probably 7 o'clock. Couldn't be on. No, none of that. No, I was never a late night talker on the phone. Not even in my adult years. It never was the case. But I'm remembering those times that we all went through and shared of getting that first phone number, waiting on them to call you. It's like when you get grown, you're waiting on that second call back for that job. Back in the day, they gave you a call back if you got the job. They didn't email you. They didn't write you a letter. They called you to let you know when to come on in if you got the job. We'll call you. I kind of miss those days of waiting on that phone call of that good news. Now they send us an email. Well, I'm going to email you. Yeah, I'll send you. I tweet you. I inbox you. It's so many different levels of communication now that I have really thought about getting rid of the cell phone and going back to a landline. I really am. I text everyone but my parents. I actually talk to them on the phone. So that's the only reason I'm thinking of getting a landline again. Go back to the olden days. An answer machine is too. I'm sorry you've reached the home of Dre Montez. He's not in right now, but please leave a message and have a blessed day. There it is, right there. That's what I may go back to. Is that too old school for you? it can be of the what they call it, the trying times of things. But this communication, the way we do it, it's just It's out there right now for us folks that are 40 and up. We get it. We understand it. Out there across the board, we understand it for sure. Lots of things going on this weekend to get you ready for Mardi Gras. In the South City area, got Morgan Ford. Yeah, buddy, stop on by Tower Pub if you have time. And mosey on down the road as well to Friendly's at 3503 Roger Place. Great food and entertainment by both pet friendly and kid approved. If you're on the ill side, meaning Bell Vegas, 618 in the building, the Belleville Lincoln Movie Theater. Place for everyone, from the popcorn to the viewership. It's not just a place for movies. They do all kind of activities over there at the Lincoln Movie Theater. Check it out today for sure. Good folk, good people. And right there for my folks that need the information and help that they need right there, it is out there for you. We all have bad days and got to get through it, don't we? We're getting close to Horse Hooky Tuesday, people. We're getting real close with FanDuel in Collinsville. Yeah, buddy, we're getting close to that for sure. I cannot wait. All right, folks, moving right along. Outside of Major League Baseball leaving ESPN, they were paying $550 million. This will be the last season that ESPN carries Major League Baseball, as well as continue to cover the NBA. For 1/3, they're paying $2.6 billion to cover the NBA. Well, it's also that favorite time of the year where we're trying to figure out what's going to happen with these football players from the college level, hopefully getting drafted in April in the NFL draft. Something exciting is going on right now in Naptown, otherwise known as Indianapolis. The NFL Combine. The NFL Combine. It is taking a few hits over the years because we're finding out about the questions that are being asked of the people interviewing these players. They have to understand what they're getting themselves into. There's been some bad investments in the NFL. Kids, we thought, were ready for this type of money, for this type of exposure. They got to find out what they're getting themselves into. So they do very, very deep, extensive background checks. Not just your mom and daddy. Oh, they're going down the damn line. Because there have been some players in the past 10 years that, hey, how did we miss this? How did we miss this? Then you get to the player side, and they're finding out things about the combine, whether it's rumored or true. Should you work out? Is the combine that important for me to get drafted? Do they need to see my 40 time? Do I need to run routes? Do I need to do the dash? Do I need to throw? How important are all of these in the steps in trying to become a professional NFL player? You hear from players that have made it. You hear from players that didn't work out. Some regret it. Some are saying, hey, you had the whole season. You have enough scouts. There's enough technology out there. You can see me perform. If you're looking for a quarterback, there's enough information out there. You could see me work in-game situations. These are not in-game situations at the combine. There's no one rushing you. There's somebody hitting you with a pad, yelling at you. That's not an in-game situation. So if I'm getting a quarterback, I want to see what you can do in an actual game situation. Now, some of these players do play at schools where the competition level was not that high. Or they're coming from a school that was not on television that much. They're trying to make a name for themselves, get antiquated with the game and the fans. There's nothing wrong with that. There's been some guys at the combine that come out to really show their speed up because you didn't get a chance to see me really show you that I could dig. I can show you a 4.2. Okay, here we go. And in the football world, we're mesmerized anytime somebody run a 4.2 40. We want to see it. What? Then when he gets drafted for a team, the first thing we say, I hope they use him the right way because that's a lot of speed. But the combine, I kind of feel both sides of it. Some of the questions are not, why are you asking me if my mom was a prostitute before I was born? What that got to do with now? Yes, my father was in prison for illicit use of drugs, but that was 25 years ago. None of that has happened anymore. You got to understand the background these kids are coming from, the family situation. Oh my God. It is, I don't think it's as bad living as it was when guys were going to the NFL in the 70s and 80s. Now, they were coming out of some very, very poverty situations. But we're getting a lot of guys that are athletes of former players. They went to private schools. They had this type of coach. They had the talking that they talking to a kid of a former athlete that was a household name. That's a different conversation. But these kids coming out of the normalcy of a one-parent home, or raised by the grandparents, or raised by a sibling, not knowing what we eating, not knowing if everything gonna be on when we come home. That still hits a few places real hard. Who's taking care of my siblings? You got guys in college playing football, college football, that are taking care anywhere of 2 to 4 of their siblings in college, not their own kid. Oh, Chadwick Boseman showed us that point inside of him in the movie The Draft. Them weren't his kids, them was his little brothers. He has to look out for them. You get a lot of athletes that have that mentality. This is not about me. This is about them. My sisters and brothers. It's about them. We get that side of it. Those athletes are going to get in there and do what you want them to do, what needs to be done. But for the ones that really believe in their craft, understand their value, they're not going to work out. If they do, they're going to give a workout on their terms, their circumstance. Private workout in Miami, private workout in Atlanta. It's not saying you're wrong, NFL, but if I'm going to work out for you, this is how we're going to do it. Again, I understand it. That's the pace and the state of the game today. But at the same time, what's wrong if you're not invited to the combine? That's different. If you're not invited to the combine, you do what you have to do what you want to do. I understand that. But the ones that are invited to the combine, what's the focus? What's going on? Do we want this or not? Because they pick, pull, and pry. And we hear this every year. Oh, he has small hands. 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 That's the knock. Kyler Murray had that. Kyler Hail Murray had the knock on him. Small hands. Small hands. Bo Nix had the knock. Small hands. There are a lot of NFL quarterbacks that slid down the draft poll, moved to another round based on their hand size. These folks get something caught in their head, and they're sticking to it. I want a defensive end with thighs and ass. They're really thinking that, and they're looking for that. If you've never listened to the commentary of the combine, I guarantee you to do it. Do it. You're going to learn something. It's nothing but a live meat auction. It's a meat auction for sure. And while we're at the combine, now they want to talk about the tush push. Green Bay. Green Bay says, we don't like the tush push. We think it should be banned because of player safety matters. Player safety. Okay, there was data in the way we changed the kickoff. Okay, there was actual data in that. Gotcha. We made the adjustments. Okay. The tush push. If anyone is going to get hurt on the tush push, I think it's the quarterback. Hear me out. You got 2 people behind the quarterback that can bench press anywhere from 500 to 600 pounds. They're going to push, get down in squatted position, and push the quarterback forward. I don't know. I don't like the way Green Bay is going about doing it. I don't like that. It became a problem this year because of the success rate. It became a huge problem. That was. I don't think they're going to nix it all completely, but I think they're going to find a way to tweak it and adjust it where NFL teams going to be like, hold on now, wait a minute. Hold on. You'd have taken the fun away from the fourth down. Well, I got to tell you I'm not doing a fake punt. I got to tell you that I'm going for it on fake punt. I got to tell you if I'm doing a fake punt due to player safety. Come on now. Come on now. I get it. You're trying to make it fun for everybody. I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it for sure. So many things to do this second half of the season. NBA, NHL, the anticipation of the start of Major League Baseball season. Will baseball actually think about a salary cap? Will they think about it? Who's going to be the one to complain? A losing franchise? A winning franchise? Tired of spending the money, but not getting the trophies on the other end. Oh, here comes the entertainment aspect of the show right now. Here it comes right now. Okay, the entertainment portion of the show. I tried to watch. I've fallen behind on my movie watching here. I've fallen behind just a little bit. But to keep it going and keep the effects of it, I've watched this movie. This would be the second movie containing a monkey. I've watched Monkey Man. Watch that. Now Better Man is out. And what I like about this movie, a lot of people, how do you see yourself to everybody else? And everybody tell you you're beautiful, you're handsome, you're attractive, you're easy on the eye. You hear that from people. But how do you view yourself? Do you think you're attractive? You think you're handsome? You think you're fine as wine? You think you that shit? How do you think you are viewed by other people? And this movie kind of teases that a little bit. And what they say, 47% of people that are attractive don't think they're attractive. How is that possible? How is that possible? Yes, the golf carts will be out this weekend. To the folks on StreamYard, get you a golf cart ride today. Making plans. Weather going to be nice this weekend. Bikini weather. Here we come. Here come that bikini weather. Well, I hope not. But when it comes to how do you think people view you? How do you think do they see you the way you see yourself? Because we all have seen people, especially at Walmart, especially in the morning at the kid bus stop. Maybe you shouldn't have wore that out in public. Maybe you don't, that's not for you. But I like the interesting twist they put on this movie in seeing the other side of the situation of said person. Character, again, check it out. It's called Better Man. Check it out for sure. And before we get out of here, I want to bring back what we talked about at the beginning of the show. At the top of the hour, we talked about distractions. Are you aware of the distractions around you? Are you? Do you pay it any mind? You don't care. Do you go with the blase, blah, 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 or is it real to you? Because I see a lot of people that use that saying, well, if it doesn't affect me or concern me, I don't care. How do you know? That's why they call it what, kids? A distraction. They call it a distraction. Well, as I said at the top of the hour, we were expected to have a guest today, but we're going to reschedule that. Again, got some news coming out here for parents that have kids at home that need to do something this summer. Do something. We're not talking about anything dangerous, but something fun, build character, build communication skills, make you a better person on the outside as well as the inside. Things of that nature. As well as our softball series. We're supposed to have a guest on for that. Reschedule that possibly for next week, as I've been talking to various people in the softball community, from coaches to league CEOs and tournament directors. We've been getting it in for sure. Getting it in with the people, by the people, of the people, and for the people. Because this summer, I think we ought to learn a lot this year. We should learn a lot. I plan on learning a lot by traveling, seeing all my kids and all my grandkids this summer, as well as a family reunion. I think I'm going to get like Clark W. Griswold. I'm going to get an actual schematical plan going on how long I'm going to spend in each town, each city, each state that makes sense. I mean, I figure the longest you can spend with your kids when they're grown and you've grown They got to work. You're on vacation. I figure 5 to 7 days. I say, you think that's long enough to visit your kids and grandkids? 5 to 7 days. I think that's doable. I think that's doable. Now, as the years get closer to age 60, I will probably stay longer as we get up there. Oh my God. Oh my God. So of that nature. So what do we have to look forward to? I do believe tonight we have 12 NHL games. 12 NHL games. My Lakers last night took care of business. Very enjoyable game. Very enjoyable game. This Luka, LeBron, could they make a push for the NBA Finals? I want to stop you right there. Let's stop it. Let's take things step by step. It's like you just meet somebody. You bring that person around your friends. All it takes is one friend to say, "Oh, y'all look like y'all been together a long time." What? Slow it down, player. Slow it down. You got to give people that pre we just met. Don't say nothing about y'all look good together. Don't say nothing about what y'all doing Labor Day. It's still February. Calm down. Calm down. And from my understanding, there are some folks that are still together that met this past Valentine's Day. Hey, I'm proud of you out there. I'm proud of you. Proud of you. Usually I have feedback on something negative they had to say about people 40 and up. But I have some good news. Good news. They say 48.5% of people 40 and up that are to the point a relationship is not that important because they've been hurt before, that they have gathered interest in hanging out with their grown kids and hanging out and spending time with their grandkids. It has increased their happiness by 64%. See? How many people you done met, you say you're in a relationship, I ain't got time for that. I'm focused on something else. And they're so quick with it. They're so quick with it. You got a man? You got a young lady, man? No, I've been single 5 years, man. I've been grinding out trying to get this business going, get this property game going together, visit my kids, and I got 2 grandbabies. And you see the happiness in their face. Now, meet somebody in a relationship and just say, so what y'all got going on this weekend? Man, shit. I don't want to do nothing, but she want to go to all these damn parties. That's the funny part about relationships. This is that time where you met this person during cold weather. You didn't go outside much. You didn't know he was not an outdoorsy person. You didn't know she didn't like concerts outdoors. Well, now you're about to find out. You're about to find out now for sure. That's when you meet people. Don't forget the part of the time of the year you met them in. Because there are a whole lot of people in this town of St. Louis that don't like doing nothing when the sun's out. Nothing. Nothing. They cool. There's a lot of people that's cool with staying at home. I told y'all this about 5 months ago. You can tell how much a person rent is by how often they hang out. If they always out, they probably paying next to nothing. There is no more $600 rent out there. So if you paying $600 rent or less, you better keep that shit to yourself. If that $800 on up, hey, hold on. Let me figure out how to stay home and enjoy myself. You have everything you need at the house, entertainment-wise. You got your video game systems, hopefully more than one. You got the right games to play. You got your right streaming service on. You got some cards, okay? You got writing to do. You got some books to read or listen to. You're keeping yourself entertained. That right there is the folks that really understand the word rent. Again, shout out to Soulard's own Urban City Services for the great and phenomenal work they've been doing, especially with the warming bus and helping out the unhoused in the Soulard downtown and North City area. Shout out to Andre Cole and Mike Avery and other supporters and volunteers with the Urban City Services down in Soulard. Keep up the great work for sure, all of you. I saw someone post on the Soulard page. Should I take my child to the Mardi Gras parade? I'm going to tell you this right now. Child services will be at your home Monday. They taking your kid. You can take your kid to the pet parade probably for about an hour. But there are some people that they don't care about what other people is looking at. They don't care what they're wearing. And you got to explain a whole lot to your kid, especially if you're one of those parents who don't let your kid have electronic devices or a television. You got a lot to explain to you when you get home. A lot of it. Well, I think we've done what we came here to do. Talk to the people, of the people, by the people, and for the people. And to the rest of you, for sure. What's up, Freddie Mac, my dude? Freddie Mac in the building. In the building. Weird story. Freddie Mac was in my cousin Darren and Renee's wedding. Years later, I run into him. I was like, hey, you're at my cousin's wedding. Well, in it. It was back in the days before I was an ordained minister. By the way, I have 4 weddings I've done under my ordained ministership over the past few years. I'm proud of it. All of them are still married. So I am doing something on the positive side of influence of putting that matrimony together. Well, hopefully on Friday's show, we got some action entertainment to bring you even more as we get ready for Mardi Gras, as we get ready for the Oscars. And we also get ready for my mom's birthday. Happy birthday, Mom, as she always lets me know when it's her birthday. So next week, we got to do a ticket tape parade. I got to call Oprah. Not Oprah, Oprah. Got to call Oprah. Make sure the right movie's on TV that day, and we got to conduct ourselves accordingly. Well, to the folks on StreamYard, thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget, if you are in the mood or entertainment-wise to do some advertising on the show, we can put you on the 65-inch here in the studio, bring you on the show to talk about your business or product as well, and share you on the bottom of our screen and on our ticker. So all kind of ways you can get involved with your business. Shout out to our newest member to the advertising world, Mountain Man Scrub. You can check them out on Facebook. We have the logo and the link coming next week. But for now, you can check them out on Facebook, Mountain Man Scrub, SKRUB on Facebook. Great for your hands, knees, feet. It's just wonderful. It rejuvenates the body. So check it on out today. Again, to the folks on StreamYard, we will see you same time, same bat channel on Friday. And I think we may shoot you a fresh episode of Who's to Blame, the podcast. We got something to go back and talk about for sure. And I think it's going to be a pretty good one. So thanks again to the folks on the StreamYard. We'll see you next time. To you folks, as they say in the words of our title sponsor, CertaPro Painters, Oklahoma City. Let the professionals do the work, and we'll see you Friday, StreamYard. Peace